Hey everybody, it's wonderful to see you again. Hope you're having a fabulous day. It's great to be home, although boy, that holiday was awesome. What was it? Playa del Carmen on the uh, Cancun coast of the Gulf of, I guess, the Gulf of America now, and just absolutely beautiful and warm and lovely. And if you get a chance to go, I'd highly suggest it. Hey, we're all the way into the fifth chapter of the fifth miracle of life and the 12 miracles of life by Napoleon Hill, and one of the Science of Success series. We just finished reading that quote that I feel that. Was it John Wooden used to say all the time with his winning basketball teams, a quitter never wins and a winner never quits, and to keep chugging along with that. So this fifth chapter is titled "The Fifth Miracle of Life," and the subtitle is "Failure May Be a Blessing." And we've seen all kinds of different stories from Abraham Lincoln to Clarence Saunders to Milo C. Jones with his little pig sausage as great examples of that. And we're going to keep on, and just be a little bit short today, and then tomorrow we've got 54 major causes of failure that Hill has listed out in this book that are just, oh my gosh, it just keeps going, it seems. So let's hop in. We're going to start in on page number 69 near the bottom, and away we go. Japan's failure in World War II was her greatest victory, since that failure broke the vicious yoke of satisfaction by which the Japanese people had been bound and gave them their first taste of democracy and an opportunity to take their place in the family of civilized peoples on an equality with all the other nations. In all human endeavors, nature seems to favor the quote unquote fool who did not know he could fail, but who went ahead and did the quote unquote impossible before he discovered it couldn't be done. Henry J. Kaiser had never built seaworthy ships, but the emergency of World War II called for more ships than the established shipbuilding sources could supply. So Kaiser began building ships with such faith and enthusiasm that he literally, quote unquote, ran rings around the older and more experienced men in that business, with an all time high in production and an all time low in cost. Isn't that something? Well, gee whiz, kind of sounds like Elon Musk these days, even though a lot of folks aren't overly thrilled with him. And that's okay. That's okay. He's out there, he's doing his thing, he's doing what he feels is right, just as we all should. The man who says, quote, it can't be done, unquote, usually winds up under the feet of the man who is busy doing it. The man who succeeds because he has thrown himself into the path of the laws of the universe and adapted himself to their habits, and thereby insured himself against failure. The man who says it can't be done has never studied nature's laws. An old miner spent 30 years in search of precious metals, only to meet with disappointment and despair until he was overtaken by the misfortune of having his trusty mule break its leg in a gopher hole. The mule had to be shot. Uh-oh. While digging a hole in which to bury the animal, the miner struck the richest copper deposit in the entire world. I'm wondering if that wasn't in Mexico, mid to southern Mexico, someplace. Destiny often selects dramatic ways in which to reward people for stick to itiveness and the will to keep on trying in the face of defeat. In this world of practical realism, one must constantly remind himself that our only limitations are those which we set up in our own minds or permit others to establish for us. Recognition of this great truth makes all so called quote unquote failures look pretty lame. I'd have to agree with that. Henceforth and forever, remember that no experience can be classified as a failure unless and until it has been accepted as such. Remember also that only the person who meets with a given experience has the right to call it a failure or by some other name, and that the verdict of all others is ruled out. And there we have it. That's going to do it for today. A little bit short today, and then tomorrow we'll dive into these 54 major causes of failure, and those causes of failure perhaps being the source of a future blessing, as we've seen in many of these other stories. So until then, have a wonderful day, and how do we say? God bless you. God bless me. God bless us, everyone. I'm wishing you all the best, my friends. Be well now. Bye bye.